So we had a lot of those moments until she got to a point where she was able to then say sorry. This is my baby. Like, everything engiyenza uTshepi, I want it to be top notch.
Artlist.io.
Good afternoon and welcome to Changing the Narrative with Refilo Matloko. Yet another episode. Today we are celebrating love. Everything Mjolo, the dating, marriage you can imagine. And today we are with a very young couple, Mduduzi Tshepi Nkosi. Welcome to Changing the Narrative.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, before we continue, I think there are stereotypes going around, especially around Mjolo, around love. I think as young people, and specifically young black people, we associate love and all things, marriage with old age. And I don't think it's supposed to be that way. So by changing the narrative today with our beautiful couple, we're going to be talking about relationships and everything beautiful about relationships, because I'm going to take both their stories separately and then we're going to make it a couple's thing. They are a family. They have a 3-month-old baby and they're doing very well with this dating and love thing, and they are married, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Tshepi, please tell us a bit about yourself. Your growing up. Where did you grow up? What do you do career-wise?
So I grew up Kofosloras, Extension 9 Marimba. I was born there, raised there until about grade 9. Then I moved to Boksburg, and that's where I currently call home. And career-wise, I am a CA. I'm an external auditor. I've been doing that for 4 years, including my articles.
I'm getting chills. Where did you graduate?
Where did I graduate?
Yes.
I graduated from Wits.
Wow. Look at you. Graduated from Wits. Wow. Congratulations. That is beautiful. And you are a mother.
I am a mother.
Wow.
I'm a new mom.
And how has it been? How has it been?
It's been a roller coaster, if I'm being honest.
I can imagine.
It's been, I'm still on maternity leave, so I'm enjoying that. I've learned a lot about myself, about our relationship, about babies. I mean, I had no prior experience of babies until I had my own.
That is beautiful.
So I had a lot to learn.
Wow. So do you have a stay-in nanny so far?
No.
Oh, wow. So
but we're in the process of getting
No,
one.
obviously, because you're going back to work. But it's quite amazing that you haven't got someone to help you, because you are determined to do this yourself. That is very lovely. That is very commendable.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Mduduzi.
Sister.
Yes. Please tell us about yourself.
Mntwana sekasi.
Sure.
Khulele kasi Whiteville. Ngikhula ngintwana eGrand eSharp ngisithandela izinto.
Are you sure?
Yes. 100%.
I don't know about Grand. Grand Bostot.
No, bengumuntu wabantu. Ngisho njalo. But uBostot, I had my own Stot time. I had my own Stot time. Like I grew up part of a crew. This is Bizama Italiani. So when it started, like my Sasuke spray tiseza my Whiteville side. I did all of that. I was just a normal kid doing normal things that kids would do. At some point, I was a bullfighter, like Bengilo all the time. So my friends used to call me Ustumza because there was a guy in Ustumza who was good in terms of this Kotane thing. But yeah, ngikula kanjalo ngintwana eSharp. Fortunate enough, I made it to a top 5 yakoskolong.
Oh, wow.
By God's grace, and I then moved to Wits, where I did actuarial science, and
Excuse us.
No, I need to complete the story. So I did actuarial science, a young shy blind, because I got to varsity, and when I got to varsity, for me, I had made it. Like I had fully made it. My life was it. I never saw myself beyond my township. I've always thought I would be a metro police or a gangster. So when I got to varsity, my mind, I lost it. So I had so much fun and too much fun to a point where I ended up failing actuarial science. It got bad. Then I figured, look, what else can I do? Ended up doing economics and mathematics, graduated on it. Have a degree in maths and ecos also from WITS. And then after that, I worked for Investec. Then after working for Investec, decided to go back to the actuarial space. So I'm back in the actuarial space. I'm an actuarial analyst right now, and I'm writing my board exams.
Wow, by God's grace. Did you think it was a coincidence or it was by divine intervention?
I think it's grace. I think it's grace, and I don't take it light. And I always tell my wife, Uguti, there's a purpose for my life. I still don't know what it is, but it's far greater than everything that I've ever experienced.
Wow.
Because every single time I make a bad decision, it's like God carries me. You know, every time, you know, even in varsity, I got excluded. In 2015, yeah, 2015, I think, 2015 I got excluded. And somehow I managed to go back the following year because of the connections and the people that I'd met at VETS.
And wait, sorry. When did you guys meet? Because you were excluded in 2015.
So we
I'm not gonna say
I know
anything.
it looks bad, but it's not like that. We met in 2015.
Oh, wow. Oh.
We met middle of 2015. Ne?
No, August. I think. Yeah.
No.
By August, okay.
We had already met in
Officially by
August.
So May, I think.
Yeah,
we met
May,
2015,
June.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So 2015, you got excluded from varsity and you met the love of your life.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So basically changing the narrative, we are saying that education is important in a black child's life because according to what I've heard so far with your story is that you are where you are because of your passion for education and your passion for wanting to get wherever you want to get to, which is beyond what you know and beyond what you've seen in your lives. That is very commendable, and I do believe that you guys are going further than this. And
Definitely.
I mean, this is a journey, and it's only the beginning. It's about to get greater. So, you guys met in 2015. You know, the narrative is that you know, you hardly ever meet guys who are honest to, especially their ladies counterparts.
Yeah.
We hardly ever find all men are dogs, all men are trash, all these things. It's a narrative that the society has painted to us, especially as black young people. And we don't believe in love, especially amongst young people. We think that, this one is too good to be true. Man, give her for 5 years. See. After 5 years, everything will be down the drain. I mean, that's the narrative. But you guys decided to change the narrative. And while at that, you rewrote the story of your life. Tell me about that. Especially your love story.
You can take that one.
Should I take
Yeah.
it?
Look at you guys.
I don't want to lie to you, Rufil. It's difficult. I don't want to lie to you. It's difficult because now we've got the hang of it, but there's still a bit of touch and go. But when it started, it was really difficult because one thing you need to understand about love, communication is everything. And as young people, that's where we generally lack, you know, and we can blame each other and all of that. But even from our households where we come from, communication wasn't a big thing, especially for man, you know. We always show the masculinity and all of that, and it's felanga parati. You want to keep it to yourself while you're dying inside, you know. So when I met Tshepi, we didn't start dating when we met. We were just varsity kids doing varsity things, you know.
Living the varsity life.
Living the varsity life to the full experience, you know. And
I mean, that is very important. That
Yes.
is very important because I believe that there's a reason why in life there are stages.
yes. So when we met, it was a stage thing. Like, we were just having fun, nothing deep, nothing serious. In December, we spoke about it and decided to start dating.
December 2015.
December 2015. Right? December 2015, we decided to start dating. in 2016, we decided to stay together.
Oh wow! Why so quick, if I may ask?
Well, it's simple. So what happened was I got excluded. So when I got excluded, for the first 3 months of opening of varsity, she was staying at BCAD. So at BCAD, everybody is allowed,
All right,
right?
all right.
I didn't have a place because NSFAS was delayed.
No,
at
he's
the
not
time.
about.
Eish,
Yo, this guy.
eish, eish. So at that time, BCAD BCAD allowed me to come through. So I said to her, look, I'll stay for 2 months, and then when NSFAS approves, then I'll go.
So you're all NSFAS students.
Yes, we're both NSFAS students.
Wow.
So NSFAS approves in
March.
After NSFAS approves in March, I'm like, Exe, Riavaya, no, we good, we can. She's like, dog. Linda, and I was like, dude, we can stay, and then we decided to stay. But the main reason behind our staying was that we worked so well together.
Wow.
We worked so well together. And again, when I'm saying to you, we worked well together, it was because of communication. We had a lot of fights going back and forth, but I could understand why we were having those fights. And I was able to speak on those fights to say, look, dude, the way we are communicating, I see the lack imo. Can we try to fight that and then focus on us? Like, I'll make you a typical example, and I hope you're comfortable with it. Like when we used to fight, right? She couldn't say sorry, right? So I was the one who would identify for kitloba sorry kogai. So we would fight, like, make an example, fight about dishes. I'm making an example. We're fighting about dishes. When we are fighting about dishes, she would say, awashang izicha, I didn't wash izicha, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, at that time, right? She will say, but now washing izicha, in. And then I'd say to her, I'm sorry for not washing the dishes. I apologize for not washing the dishes, and I mean that sincerely. Then after that, I say, now that we've sorted the dishes part, you still came back late. Can we talk about coming back late? Then she would be forced to then say, I'm sorry as well, you know? So we had a lot of those moments until she got to a point where she was able to then say sorry. Then from then, it was a smooth sail. It was a smooth sail from then.
So it's been how many years?
7 years now.
7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I think, talking about communication, I think maybe, just maybe, that is why the narrative is still that Mjolo wangisa. It's not that Mjolo wangisa. It's maybe because that we have got so much broken communication to a point that from a ground level, from home, from wherever, at school, we don't have that steady communication structure that we can say we hold on to. And maybe that is why we struggle with so many relationships, not just, a romantic relationship. We can talk about work relationship and any other relationship you can think of, because the communication, especially amongst the black community, it's very weak. It's broken, if I should say. So I think you made a point when you said communication, and I believe that, look, even if there's lack of love, right? But you can grow to love each other as long as there's communication, because it brings about understanding. It brings about that tolerance to say, okay, I can tolerate this, even if agawashang izija, but like he's still important to me. I understand, and he can still sincerely apologize for it. And I mean, that is the most important thing, and the most beautiful thing as well is that you guys had to identify your weaknesses through this communication channel. How was it? Because I don't think it's nice being put in a vulnerable position, especially by someone you love, and especially by someone maybe you see a future with. It's not a nice thing for someone to tell me that I'm a control freak. Yes, I'm just being honest. Like it may come across as even rude, but I need to hear the truth so that maybe I do something about it and I change it. How was it for the both of you? You can start, Tshepi. How was it for you to know that you can't apologize voluntarily? And I'm sure now it's not even an issue anymore.
Now I can say sorry in my sleep.
Exactly.
So it was hard. I won't lie. It was very hard at first because he was the first person that I've been with who could honestly tell me what my flaws are. My partners before, like, I won't say worship the ground I walked on, but they didn't do that.
Which I think is beautiful, because I believe that humility is everything.
Humility is
and
everything, yeah.
this is what we learn when this is when we incorporate it in relationship. Because as well, coming across as someone who's arrogant doesn't work in a relationship. So it means that there has to be a certain type of approach that he uses to teach you that, look, mfethu, uyasaba ukuthi sorry.
And he was very kind about it. And he wasn't rude or anything. He was very loving, and he approached it with caution. So it was a challenge for me to learn how to apologize, how to like put my pride aside, because I had a lot of pride, and it took some time, but we also read a lot, which also helped us sort of navigate where we are in the relationship and where we're trying to go.
So it goes back to education. Reading is learning. You learn every day. And I mean, you can never be too old to learn. And that is beautiful, because now you are raising a beautiful baby boy. This boy is going to learn that books are just like toys in the house, So it's not going to be something new for him. It's going to be a norm that I must read. And that's you made life easy for yourself, I should say.
Thank you.
I'd forgotten about that.
The reading thing.
Like
that's where we started. That's where our relationship started. We started it with reading and also understanding where we want to go. So we didn't get into the relationship on a sobona phambili basis. We went into it saying, we are serious about this. We want to see this through. We want this to stand the test of time. So how are we going to get there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that. We read something called the 5 stages of a relationship. And that was in the beginning phase of our relationship. And when we read that thing, it could tell us where we are. And you know what's funny? Like, our honeymoon lasted for over a year, Tshepi and I. Like,
about 2 years.
It was about 2 years.
Yeah.
You have a honeymoon phase, right, in a relationship. Ours lasted for more than a year. So it's about 2 years, right?
2 years, yeah.
And it was because that 5 stages of relationship thing could tell us the cycle of relationship and how the relationship always goes back at every point in time. I had forgotten what these teens.
I think there was the honeymoon
phase,
and then there was I don't know what happens after honeymoon, but it's where you start
now starting to fight a bit, because now you're starting to understand
power
each
struggle.
Power struggle.
Power struggle. I forgot the third one.
There was other ones within that thing.
I'm looking at you right now and you're like, wow, guys.
Seriously.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
The one that we didn't struggle a lot with was power struggle, because we were so much aware of what was going on. And that's why I could humble myself whenever we were fighting, because I understood at the back of my head that, no man, this is the power struggle thing that they were talking about, and it helped so much.
I think it saved
so
our relationship from the beginning, to say, because by now I don't know if we would have made it.
No.
And you are what, 20? You're 21?
29 this year. We're still 28.
We're still 28.
Wow. I think the most amazing thing about your story is that you guys are holding the pens. And you guys are writing it.
Yes.
It's not being written by one of you. It's being written by the both of you, and which makes it beautiful, because now it's not going to be Istori Sika Tshepi Mduduzi.
No.
It's going to be Istori Sane.
Yes.
And I think that's so beautiful. That is so amazing. And it goes down to say the culture of reading is quite important, because then it means that it is how we navigate this life thing, through reading, through learning beyond what we know, because we don't know these things. I mean, getting in a relationship with someone, look how beautiful she is. You probably know Chamechile, but it goes beyond that. It's not about her looks anymore. She's going to be on your face all the time. You guys are going to wake up next to each other with bad breath in the morning. Should it matter? Should it not matter? Sometimes she's going to have to deal with your stinking shoes. Is it going to matter? Is it not going to matter? There are the most important things and the unimportant things, right, in a relationship. So my question to you would be that, what did you think mattered most? Because Yana, maybe when she came back from work, she was annoyed by the dishes. But are they that important to keep your relationship going? What are the most important things that you know, Guti? Even if I say, but this we need to have in our relationship, and that way our relationship is still intact. So the level of the foundation that you guys built is firm, but what was it built on?
So, okay, maybe I'd jump in on this one. But I wanted to say something before I actually answer your thing. I wanted to nonetheless, the foundation that we have, I don't want to lie, it's God. For us, God is at the center of everything, and following that, again, I'm going to touch on the same thing, the communication. Dude, if you're mad, communicate. If you are happy, communicate. I've always said to Tshepi, I am not a mind reader, and I don't want you to be a mind reader. So if you are saying to me, babe, I want flowers, we're gonna get flowers, right? And the beauty of it, like, I'll make an example, like a practical example, right? I want to speak about sex, but I want your interview.
Sure,
it's fine.
You're open.
Okay, cool.
We're talking all things love, and
Yes.
sex is part of it. It's intimacy, it's part of it. So,
Okay, cool.
Look, knock yourself out.
So, like, if there's certain things that my wife doesn't like when it comes to sex, right? She would communicate it, and if after she communicates it, the funny thing is, in the first few times when you have sex, it's gonna be awkward because there's an anticipation. I know what he's gonna do because I've told him what to do, right? But eventually, when you've done it for so long, it becomes so normal that it feels like it's me that came with it. Because you've been doing it for so long. Lena sekitla lidi tricks to say, okay, now we're talking lula so we tanda so okay. Let me just go this side, But the thing is, and it happens across everything. I wanted to use sex as an example, but it happens across everything. When you are suggesting something to your partner, to say, I want things like this, ask you, my boy, like, I want things to be done like this, right? The first time or the first few times that the thing is being done, obviously you are the one that came up with the plan, right? You will see, but if your man or your woman is committed enough to continuously do that thing, eventually they will make it their own style that you even forgot that you told them about it.
I think the most beautiful thing about this is the fact that, as well, we must understand that as young black people, we grew up in communities whereby talking about sex is taboo. Maybe as we were taught in life orientation that sex is 1, 2, and 3, but we've never been really comfortable to a point that we talk about sex openly with our parents.
Sure.
It has always been awkward.
And
even if my mom were to call me and to tell me, hey, by the way, Manaka, have you started doing what with birth? Now my mom has never asked me that. She has never.
Yeah.
She didn't even know when did I lose my virginity.
Sure.
But I'm still a virgin, but anyway.
We took it.
Like, honestly, I've never had such a conversation with my mom. So you can imagine, Uguti, you guys had to take it upon your shoulders to say, we're going to communicate about sex because it is the integral part of the relationship in a long term. How did you overcome the stereotype, Uguti, sex is something that you can not talk about? Or like, I always call them difficult conversations. Difficult conversations, they are called difficult because they are uncomfortable. But I think they are the most important things to have in a relationship because without them, a relationship is simply going to lose its direction. How did you guys overcome having difficult conversation and actually getting used to them to a point that they're not difficult anymore? Like something like telling umuntu akuthi, this is how I want my sex to be, and it's okay, and you don't even feel judged because exactly.
I think Uzo Champa in say, but your question ties into the thing that I had said I've forgotten. Tshepi and I, when we started our relationship, right? As you said, we didn't have like some sort of proper foundation because of where we come from and all of that, right? But the beauty of our world, and as black people, the type of people that we are, what we did have is what not to do. So we were able to recognize the things that we don't need to do in order for us to have different things. So I remember our conversation was, love, we are not going to fight about the stupid things that we know all of our friends fight about, like the coming late, the cheating, the
Not answering
your phone,
Ubuyaphi,
ubuyaphi,
nobani.
ujayivaphi, kwenzakalani. So we were quite frank and strict about that. That was our first conversation, to say we are not going to have these type of fights. The only thing that now we're going to fight is the different fights that our people never fought.
Changing the narrative.
Changing the
narrative,
narrative.
yeah.
That's
Literally, because after that, we said we're not going to fight about that. To date, even I've come home late a couple of times this time around, because I think the baby for me also will speak about that. But at every point in time, wherever I am, she knows where I am. And that has been consistent the whole 7 years.
Wow.
I tell my wife, love, so it's daunting. Sometimes ngoba ngiyajiva kumnandi, you get tired, you're like, milling text, but I do it because it's a principle matter.
Wow.
I promised I'm going to do it, and I do it. You know, so we had that conversation to say we don't want to fight about the silly things that we've always seen. And through that, we were able to then navigate to fight about things that matter to us. And we continue.
I feel like
to do
this should have
Yeah.
been a Valentine's special or something. But honestly, like it's quite beautiful to know Uguti, you guys decided Uguti, we're not going to watch and learn from other people. We're going to narrate the story of our lives, and while at it, we are going to change the narrative. And that's simply what you guys did. It's commendable. It's beautiful. As human beings, I'm sure umtanaga banban. So basically meaning Uti, you were born from different families, different values, different backgrounds. I think the most rather difficult thing to cope with is the fact that you're not with your mother's kid right now. You're not with your brother or your sister. You're with someone you're trying to cooperate into your life so that you can become one thing. What has been the most difficult thing to do about that? Because I believe you guys are not a match made in heaven. Maybe you are now, but you did not start as a match made in heaven. You guys actually fought to become a match made in heaven.
What has been the hardest part? Being vulnerable in a different way. You know, when you're with siblings, you don't necessarily need to say some things or show some things. It's just they can see it. They live with you, you know. So when you're with someone who's outside of your family, being vulnerable with your flaws, with what you're not perfect in, because when someone approaches you in the street, they don't see the flaws.
Sure.
They see the beautiful you that they want to date and whatnot. But now when it comes to the serious stuff, you need to show your full self. And that was the hardest part, being open to what isn't the perfect image.
And by saying that, vulnerability is something that can make or break you.
And
as
trusting
a
a person
human.
with that vulnerability. Yeah.
Trusting a
And
person.
making the environment allowing the person to be vulnerable, as the other partner as well. We need to emphasize the importance of having the space to be allowed to be vulnerable.
So you guys created
We
a
created a
safe
safe
space for each
to be
other.
comfortable with.
And I think the friendship we built before we started dating, I think that was an important stage for us to be that open with each other, to talk about anything and everything before we started dating. So when we got into the relationship, it was easier.
Wow.
It really was easier.
Sure, it is really, it's beautiful. Like I'm here and I feel like I'm with some Romeo and Juliet. The only thing about Romeo and Juliet is that they died in the
died.
end. It was not so romantic. This is Romeo and Juliet, guys. Like, I promise you. As people as well, like, come from different environments and how did you guys incorporate each other into one another, especially in terms of differences. Right now you guys are married. I'm sure you have differences, especially in terms of beliefs, in terms of values, in terms of cultures. And what did you have to actually collide so that it all makes sense and it grows? Because I think for every relationship, foundation is very important.
One thing I've always said to my wife, I'm not here to change you. Don't change me. And let's try to work together, right? So And our relationship structure is structured like this. There's me, there's Tshepi, there's the relationship. There's things that affect the relationship, and those things require both of us to be in them and sort them out.
Sure.
There's things that affect me personally, and those things I need your support on. And then there's things that affect her where I can only support.
Sure.
So for us, that has always been the structure, and it continues to be the structure.
It works.
And it works. It works.
So you
for
guys
the
have
both
not
of us.
lost the I in the relationship. It's not
Yes.
about we.
No.
It's about I.
Yes.
You remind me
And
of a
the-
book.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You remind me of a book that I read. Just when you said that you prioritize not losing Mduduzi,
Yes.
not allowing Tshepi to lose Tshepi,
Yes.
and actually prioritizing Tshepi no Mduduzi before us,
Yes.
which is very important, because I think Tshepi no Mduduzi makes us,
Yes.
makes the we.
Yes.
So if that is weak, then the we is nowhere.
Exactly.
You know, you remind me of a book that I read of Dr. Ian Levenzent.
Yeah.
It's called In the Meantime. That book. There's a stage where he talks about preparing for the love that you know you deserve.
Yes.
So what are you doing in the meantime?
Sure.
So that's where In the Meantime
Okay.
comes
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And I read that book at the lowest time of my life, where I had lost a lover.
It's the
Right.
emphasis.
Yeah.
On the
the time
lover.
Mjolo ungiza. Hey, yeah, no. And somebody recommended that book for me because I was really struggling at that time after losing that particular person. And when I got that book, Nkosi yami, that was literally what I needed to grow. That was literally what I needed to actually thrive and remember that, you know what, even if I'm going to get a man who's going to love me and want to marry me and whatnot, I'm definitely not going to lose this. Which is, I think, you guys are making it beautiful, because I wouldn't even have thought about the book, but because you spoke about that, it reminded me of the book, because it was that time, she was saying, that lady, that when you're waiting for the love that you know you deserve, what do? You prepare for it. And by preparing for it, you learn these things. You don't lose yourself to someone. You don't lose yourself to what he likes. You don't suck up. You know, sucking up is tiring. So I like the fact that you guys, you know, work so well together that it becomes so easy. And I mean, look at this. This is so effortless. It really is.
I don't know about effortless.
It's there.
I don't know about effortless, but I hear you. Yeah.
I forgot my point. Nonetheless, it'll come back.
No, look, even
It'll
if,
come back.
let me not say effortless, this is so selfless.
Yeah.
Like, you've given your all to this. And I think, Uguti, you know, sometimes a machine, I believe that a machine, you run it, and then sometimes, like, you run it without even, like, nagging it.
Yeah.
You're not even looking with ears at, because you know it's running itself.
Yes.
This is how you guys have set your relationship and put it in a place
Where
it can run itself. And I think that is what most young couples are struggling with. They're struggling to let their relationships work, because, like you saying, I like the fact that you guys discussed these things when you started.
Yeah.
Uguti, we're not going to fight about cheating.
Yeah.
We're not going to fight about lying.
Yeah.
We're not going to fight about Uguti Ugupi. I'm not going to fight about asking you, Uguti, that you are hugging. You know, Uguti, I'm yours to have and you are mine to have, right? So how did you guys actually remain firm? Because it's not easy as well, you know. It is not easy. I mean, controlling yourself, self-control is the most difficult thing one can ever master.
Yeah.
And it means you guys had to master self-control so that you get to a point where you are in your relationship. What are the challenges? You know, what did you have to face? What did you have to fight with so that you make sure, Uguti, I'm going to make sure that as I spoke to my partner, as I promised her, as I said I will do this, I will. What is the most difficult thing about it? Because self-control, it's a problem, bruh. It's a problem, because, I mean, we live in a world with temptations.
Yeah. Uzongena. But before I speak on that, I wanted to say, on the point out, there's Tshepi, there's me, and there's the relationship, right? One of the things that gave life to that was the problem I had noticed. Sometimes women and men, you come in a relationship and you do so much for the other person. You do it so much, and it ends up sort of like becoming you. One understand, like in inverted commas, you get tired of it the same way you said. And when you are tired of it, that's what breaks the relationship. Because once you are tired and the fight starts, but I used to do this for you. I used to do this for you. I used to do this for you. I didn't like these things, but I did them for you. So I've always said, if you are not comfortable with something, you are not comfortable with something. And you're okay with it.
Wow.
And like even go on training. Like Tshepi is very classy. Like my wife is very, very classy. Right?
You can see her, bro. Like look at that. Look at that.
Now in my comfortable space, like I'm that kid. You know, I'm that guy. But that's me and that's her. But when we come together, we form us, and us is dynamic depending on where we are.
Wow.
You know.
So basically, it's reciprocating.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
I can adapt to his environment when I need to. He can adapt to my environment when he needs to.
Wow.
And you can still have your own space
Yes.
when you need to have your own space, which, yeah. But you asked us a question.
I think
What was the hardest part?
yeah.
What
What is the
was-
hardest part?
It never ends, Rafila. And that's the main reason we speak of this 5 stages of a relationship thing. It's because that thing, even how it's written, it is a cycle.
Wow.
Like it's a continuous cycle. So there's never a point where the formula is complete. At least from my side, my wife will speak for herself as well. But there's never a point where the cycle is complete. You consistently and continuously fight.
So
you
basically, it's like putting fuel to your car.
Every time.
Can't go anywhere without fuel. So,
Exactly.
wow.
Like even now, when we had the kid, like everything was hunky dory, everything was good. But I had a meltdown. When was it? 2 weeks?
2 weeks in.
No,
When?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks
2, 3
ago,
weeks
right? I had my own meltdown where I'm like feeling like everything is too much because
Overwhelming.
I'm doing work. I have to take care of the kid in
You
the
have to
morning.
study.
I have to study. I still have to come home and still spend time with my wife. You know,
You have to be a husband.
I have to be a husband, and I still want to have time and relax. It's
I love this. I just had to say it. I love this. Look how beautiful that is.
Thank
Yeah,
you
so
guys.
it's that we continuously have to work on ourselves, and I don't want to sit here and make it like we are the amazing thing. No, the cycle keeps going, and somewhere along the cycle, one loses themselves, and because of the foundation, and you saying we are at a point where this relationship can run itself. It runs itself for situations where one falls down, one can pick the other up.
Wow.
You know, like if she's down, now she had her own time when it came to the baby. I was there to support her fully, you know. Linda, when I had my own meltdown, she was here. We were sitting right here in this couch. I was crying hysterically. And she was just sitting here giving me the support that I
You know
need.
what I like? I like the fact that you're a man and yet you're talking about it. Uguti, I was crying hysterically.
Yeah.
And I mean, not so many men have the guts to do that because, I mean, it's taboo. So
Yeah.
basically, you decided to change the narrative to say, look, this is my wife. This woman
Exactly.
knows me maybe in and out.
Brian,
And
Prof and me. So it's
Exactly.
fun, but this one.
exactly.
No,
So
yeah.
you've changed the narrative to say, you know what, as a man, build a home for your person, and as much as she can build a home for you. And I believe that you have created the warmth, the love, the stability, the peace, and everything that you need, so that you don't have to go out and look for these things that you know, Wuti, I can still easily make them, you know, and ground them at my home, so that whenever I call it home, I know, Wuti, whatever happens, home is where I need to be, and home is where my strength is. I think that's the most important thing about love and being young. I mean, you guys are still about to grow, and maybe people who will be watching this interview might say, "I was 10 years or 5 years. I see Zobona down the line." Like La Jola, guys. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Tina Siacho.
No.
No, La Jola.
No,
And I think that is very important. I promise you.
Blind
I
fucked
think
up.
that is very important because I think the moment most people start getting married, they look at it differently. Now, mama and baba. Yes, you're a mama and baba, but you're a girlfriend and boyfriend. Niyajola, baby, honey, love you, whatever you call each other. You know, that is very important. You're not gonna start saying, yeah, that mama that you throw in there, you know, being a Zuluman you are, that mama.
And he literally calls me mama.
Exactly, and that is beautiful because you know, Ugiti, it's out of love. It's not it's out of love, and that is beautiful because I think most couples, they lose it after getting married. They start redefining the relationship, and you guys didn't do that. You changed the narrative and saying you're going to continue. Getting married was officiating things, but you are going to continue with, you know, continue digging, continue working towards the relationship. How has it been?
Oh, it's been beautiful. So I can safely say after getting married, officially being married, it didn't change. So a lot of people ask me, how does it feel being married? And I tell them it doesn't feel different because we are still operating the way we always did.
Exactly.
Just because we're married doesn't mean now we are old people who just do things differently. We're still doing things the same way. We're still going out the way we want to go out. Still treat each other the exact same way as we did when we were still dating. Yeah. And we are still dating.
Because I think
we let go one thing.
Which is?
We stop going to a strip club.
Okay.
Nonetheless.
Okay. Okay. Parental guidance is advised. Okay. I think that is. I'm so amazed.
But I'm trying to highlight we are fun. Like we genuinely fun, and we are young.
And I think that is important because you know I think
level.
there's this thing that I watched recently. It's a TV. It's one of the dramas that I watch. Because I guess that's where also we learn about these things. We learn about life and all that. By the way, there's no TV, guys. Why there's no TV in the house?
We don't believe in television
in
this house.
Wow, that is beautiful. Yeah. So it's your own craft. You like, I can entertain my own person and he can entertain my own.
We grew up with a TV in both of our homes. Yeah. But when we had a TV, like to tell you where this comes from, we had a TV in our place when we started staying together at Big Cut. We only switched it on once. I think it was a soccer game that you weren't even watching. That was the only time we switched it on the whole year. The following year, we never switched it on. And from there, we were like,
dispose it all.
Yeah, we don't need this.
Do you think because now you live with a baby, are you gonna
probably? No.
Okay, that's lovely.
Nope.
That's lovely. You know what I like is the fact that your relationship has its own narrative.
Sure.
And you don't conform to other people's standards.
Nah.
You create your own standards and you live by them. You uphold them all the time. And I think that is amazing. That is beautiful. And especially from the fact that you guys are very young. But I mean, look, it's beautiful. We love that. I love love. I'm a sucker for beautiful things. Sure. Tell us about your engagement party. My candles, like I'd say, 100,000 guys. I've never seen such a beautiful engagement. Like literally, I think I counted those candles and I stopped at 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Tell us about the beautiful engagement, like Mduduzi. I promise you, I've never seen a man do that for a woman in my entire life, even a celebrity. I'm not going to lie to you. You are a first of his own kind to do that. Tell me about that. What is running behind your mind, and what is the ultimate goal when you did this for your beautiful wife? And I mean, you knew you're doing it for your classy wife, but that was beyond classy. I don't know. Maybe you have a definition for it.
Dude, like, this is my queen. Like this is my baby. Like everything, Engiyenza Tshepi, I want it to be top notch.
Wow.
You know, and I don't play when it comes to her. Like I've been doing these things like even before engagement, when we started dating, like our first time taking her to out, taking her on a date. I was wearing a shirt as a scholar that time. I was wearing a shirt, you know, and I asked a friend of mine at the time who was Sean to come and take us to Rosebank, right? And when we went to Rosebank, Sean, I literally begged him, made up my feel, because you are the chauffeur today. Like, you gotta, he did exactly that. We sat at the back, Savaya, Sai Rosebank, we played, you know,
bowling,
played bowling, and then we went to eat. I think we ate at Doppio Zero. Right?
No, but that wasn't. Was that our first date?
Yeah,
was that
that
our
was
second one?
That was our first one. The thing, Lontozan wasn't
The
our
54
first.
bath.
The 54 bath wasn't our first date.
It was my favorite one. Let me tell
Yes,
you that one.
but
That was my
I'll
favorite
tell
one.
that one as well. But yes, that was our first date, right? Came back and Gwabam Nandi. But also the second date was 54 and Bath. 54 and Bath, like how the story came about. There's two boys of mine from COVID. So we're doing economics. It was our last year. Ne? And I'm telling these gents, because they come from the coconut. When they speak the English is like top notch English.
The
So I'm like to the boys, gents, I want to take my girl out, like to a proper date. They like, dude, we have just a place for you. They tell me 54 and Bar, right?
Wow.
So they start calling. They make the call. Hi, even when they speak, they don't say Mduduzi. At the time, I was still Vilagazi, not Nkosi. So they were saying, we are doing a booking here for Mr. Vilagazi. Mr. Vilagazi will be bringing his lady. So can you guys reserve a table for him? And so they did all of that. Then they gave me an advice that I will never forget. I did that for the longest time. They said to me, always go check out the area. So that when you get there, before the date, so that when you get there, your wife thinks you already know the place.
Wow.
So I'll go a night before and go like 54 and Bath. I went the night before.
Wow.
I looked at the area. Hi guys, Nakinna Mr. Vilagazi. You know, like just want to check out the area where we would be sitting. They said there and all of that and all of that. Okay, cool. That's nice, chap. Hey, this place is very fancy. It's very fancy, 54 and Bath. And then the next day, took my wife. Mangenara. We are born and I would die. She's shocked as well, like, dude, is this you? You know? So that's what I'm trying to highlight is that's the type of quality I've always felt that my lovely wife deserves, you know?
Wow.
So when it came to the engagement as well, it wasn't nothing new, you know? It's just that at the time I had people now that understood my vision. I have a good friend of mine, Kanye. She runs a company called K Dot, and I gave an idea to say, dude, I want to do the most amazing engagement for my wife.
Wow.
I'd already booked the hotel, so it was a hotel in Joburg. So I think it was close to the last floor. So they had a jacuzzi, they had everything, and I showed Kanye the picture of what I wanted, which was Mongena. Then there's these candle lights that you are talking about.
The million candles.
The millions.
Yes. So, and I had it in my head to say, like, when she gets in, she should see me. That's the first thing she should see there.
Love it so beautiful.
And then she walked in, and yeah, it was just that. So I wanted the top thing for her, and I continuously, even to date, nothing. Don't if I book you and ask you to do something for my wife, if it's subpar, I'm willing to shut it down because she doesn't deserve anything better than top notch. That's how I feel.
So Tshepi, how did all this make you feel? Because you are here and you know there's this person doing all these things for you, and I mean I'm sure you have your part to play. How does it feel, and what do you think you have to do to keep up? Because I mean, somehow I believe that there has to be a level of consistency in this whole thing because it can't stop. It's beautiful. It's too beautiful to stop.
It's too beautiful to stop. I mean, I won't lie. It feels like living in a dream. It really does. And to have everyone tell me that as well validates me for how I feel. You know, because I know it's not a very common thing. What I'm experiencing with hubby is not very common.
No, it's not. I promise
I'm
you
very
it's
well
not.
aware of that.
It's not.
I've seen my peers, friends, family go through the most with Mjolo and continue to do so.
Like I said earlier, when I saw you, I was like, the way he posed you, I felt like I knew you way before because of him. I mean,
if I can tell you, if I could get paid for each time a new person says to me, "Oh, I've seen him post you. Oh, I've seen you on the post." If I could get paid to hear that, I'd be wealthy right now.
Wow.
I'd be wealthy. But to answer your question, it does require a whole lot of consistency. And on my part, from the conversations that we've had, I feel like my part is helping him. You know, in the Bible, when God says, "I will create a helper for you," in the beginning when he created Eve, I feel like that is my part to play in his life.
that is very powerful. I think I love the fact that I think in the society and the generation that we live in, women kind of get offended when they are told, Uguti, you're supposed to submit to your husband. But I'm sure nobody told you that you had to submit, because already you knew what you are submitting to. He led. He opened the path. He actually said, look, this is me, this is what I bring, and we are running with it. And you automatically submitted because you knew that it is vested in your power as a woman that this is my master, rather, and I am going to live with this man as my protector, as a provider, and more than everything, he's going to make sure that I am taken care of. And he is doing just that.
He really is.
That is.
He really, really is. And with the submission thing, it came very easily. I won't lie, it wasn't hard. It took work, obviously, into like getting used to how things operate in our relationship. But it comes easily. Even now, it comes very easily because I know what, like you said, I know what I'm submitting to. I know who I'm submitting to.
So he made it easy for you to submit.
He made it easy.
It was selfless in a way.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do much. You didn't have to change much. You didn't have to, work harder 3 times or 10 times harder to submit. You actually did it effortlessly, if I should say.
And also, it's a conscious decision that I make every day. Like love is a decision. You decide, you wake up every morning and you decide, okay, this is what I want, this is where I am, and I want to keep working on this, I want to keep doing this. So it doesn't matter how you feel. Because love is also a feeling, and it's not there every day all the time. So even when you're not feeling all lovey-dovey, you'll do the things that you need to do. If you feel sad on one day, you're just like, okay, I feel sad, but that doesn't mean I don't love this person.
So it reminds me that whenever God blesses us, he does that resting or posing responsibilities on us to take care of the blessings that he gives us.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it's up to us to either hold on to them or let them go.
Let them go.
And it comes with that consistency that you spoke about. It comes with that decision making that I'm going to love and I'm going to ignore every other thing and focus on loving this person. And I think that's the most important thing. Maybe we don't understand the divinity of blessings, that whenever we are blessed, it is up to us as to what we do with those blessings. Maybe that is where most young people are losing the plot, that they don't get to realize, I'm blessed, I'm beyond blessed. And they don't realize that it comes with responsibility. It doesn't end there. And it seems like you guys prepared to receive this kind of blessing.
And continuously so. We still prepare, even every day. Like how she's saying, like love is not easy. Like often enough, like people would generally ask me, how did I know like Tshepi is the one for me and whatnot? And the answer is always this. Well, I had a different answer before where it was Shamim about principles. But the honest answer is I wake up every day and I want to try. I wake up every day and I say to myself, Ntwana, let's go.
Wow.
I am trying every day to be better. I am trying every day to do what I need to do. So like as you're saying, like, and I'm emphasizing on what you're saying, love comes with the responsibility. And now in Jengabash, you wake up some days and you're like, dude, I don't want to see you next to my face. Like honestly, I don't want to see you next to my face. But I just can't help it. I love you and I need to show up.
Wow.
And that's why
it's not beautiful every day.
No.
It doesn't look beautiful every day.
Hell no. But we show up. We consistently come together. Even when we are mad, when we communicate, we don't go to sleep angry. You have to communicate it, whatever it is that you are feeling. Even if you know that, like, in me, I don't have it. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm so mad at you. But I need to let you know how you make me feel. So that when I go to sleep, I am okay and I'm clean. I'm not starting the next day easy. That's not easy. That's not easy, because sometimes you just want to sleep because you're just like, you drain me. I'm tired of you. But I made a commitment. I need to show up, and you have to show up.
And another rule that we made, speaking of which, is something that helps us in the whole department of I don't throw bones, I don't read minds, is if you have a qualm to address, it's your job to address it. It's not the other person's job to guess that you are mad and what you're mad about.
So basically, it's transparency.
Yes. So if you're mad at me, tell me you're mad at me and tell me why. And how do we fix it? We'll talk about how to fix it, but you need to address the fact that you're upset.
Wow, you
Or
guys
you're
are
happy
so,
or whatever.
You guys are so matured. You sound like you're 35 right now.
But you have to try.
Sure,
And
like-
we're not fighting. Like, also, when we fight, we obviously know what we are fighting. We never fight each other. We are fighting the problem. There's a problem, and that's what we are engaging on. It's never the me and you. It's the problem. We address the problem.
Because they normally say age is just a number. Ne? And they relate that to people who are dating people with age differences, right? But here I am sitting with 29-year-olds, and I feel like I'm with a long-standing couple of like 38 years in marriage. It's beautiful. You're making it look that beautiful. You're making it look that special. You make it sparkle, like literally. And look, you put so much effort, but when I look at it, it's so effortless. That is just how you master it. It's your craft. You built it. You looked at the beauty of your craft, and you own it now. And I mean, it is what it is. And Rona, we just look and say, oh, that's beautiful. Like every time I look at Mduduzi's post wherever, I'm like, yo, this guy, does God still make them like him? That is how far it gets. Honestly, you must just know, Uguti, you guys are lucky. You are lucky to have him. He is lucky to have you. And I think maybe that's, look at that. Okay, that is so beautiful. That is so amazing. You know, I think today, you see, I have like red and black nails. I thought maybe let me, you know, Valentine, let me add some, some Valentine element into it, because it is that beautiful. It is that beautiful. And I thought, you know what? You guys are just ordinary young black people. But let me tell you something. Your story is extraordinary.
Thank you.
Your story is so extraordinary that I saw the need. You know, I saw the need that, look, if you guys can do it, why can others not do it, you know, from your perspective? And stop saying, Mjolo wangis. Mjolo haungis. I think we just have to decide what we want and how we're going to go about it. It is not that. It is also about, you know, the partner that you have, that you are in this journey with. Because remember, you are incorporating a stranger into your life. How are you ready to go about that? And are you going to overlook things that shouldn't be overlooked or not? Are you going, you know, there's this saying that I read there's this book that I read recently. I forgot the author. It's The Question Behind the Questions. It's QBQ, right? So it teaches more about personal accountability. So I think with you guys, it is what's keeping your relationship going. Because somewhere, I think it's on page 95, because I even circled that thing. The way it's so...
It's deep in your mind.
It's deep in my mind. And this guy is saying, on that scenario, I cannot remember exactly, but he said, it is important to keep small things small. So he said, simply, let's keep small things small. So you don't have to let things get out of hand before you guys can handle them. You don't have to bite each other's heads before you can actually solve a problem. You don't have to fight each other in order to fight the problem. You know, you keep small things small. And I think that's what I love about how you're running this ship, because it's a ship. And it's sailing. Hey, you're cruising nicely. Hey, you're cruising nicely, guys. Like, it's that beautiful. So it shows, Uguti, you run it with the personal accountability. Uguti, if there's a problem here, let's not focus on who broke this vase. Let's just say who's going to pick it up. Because focusing on who broke it won't solve the problem, because at the end of the day, it's going to be continuous. We're going to like, but you know, it's not important. You know, you keep important things important, and you keep unimportant things unimportant. And I guess that's the clue, actually, that's holding your relationship together. I would like to appreciate that, you know, the beauty. Now you're raising a child, and a boy child. Congratulations, by the way. Mommy, you look so yummy. Oh, you look so yummy, mommy.
Thank you.
Oh, that is so beautiful. You're raising a son, you know. And, you know, I believe that with relationship, look, that beauty. Look at that. Oh, girl. Look at the hello. Say hello, world. Oh, guys, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, he's so adorable. I mean, I thought he was a girl, by the way.
No.
I kept on saying she. He's so beautiful. You look at this innocent soul, and you guys are all responsible for his mental health, his physical, and his spiritual health. How are you guys? Because, I think I love something that you guys said. You've been figuring this out on your own ever since you started the journey of parenting.
Yeah.
I think it is beautiful that you both are determined, by the way. And Mduduzi didn't say, I'm a man, and therefore it's Tshepi's responsibility. How has it been for you guys, doing this parenting thing and doing this journey? Nangu. How has it been? Because I think it's all new to you because you've never been, exposed to this type of situation. Maybe for Tshepi, it's an instinct type of situation. I don't know, but you guys tell me about it. It's a journey, and you guys are sharing it. And maybe someday you're gonna talk about it as if you're not even there together.
It's been, I think, if I may say, this has been our toughest journey.
Definitely.
Relatively.
I'm sorry to disturb you because there was the both of you, and now there's this person who's stopping you from studying, who's sometimes even crying so much that you don't understand what is he crying for. Why can't he just sleep? There's this person, and it's on your shoulders to make sure that this person is fed, he's okay, he has a warm home, he has loving parents, and he has jolling parents.
Jolling parents. No, it's been our toughest experience, our toughest journey. It literally just turned our world
upside down.
Wow.
Completely. I don't think we were ready for that level of change. We knew that things are going to change, but I don't think we were fully prepared for how much change and how much adjustment we'd have to make to our relationship, within ourselves. And how we've experienced our relationship is one of us experiences a transition at a time. So there's a phase where he'll go through whatever he's transitioning, and I'm in the same place that I was in, so I'm able to support him and provide him with all the support that he needs in his transition. Or when I'm in a transition and he's in the same place, so he's able to support me. Now we are both transitioning at the same time. And it's very hard.
And you have to be each other's support structure at the same time, which is something you've never done before.
We've never done that before.
I think I commend you guys for even picking that up. Because that is a strength on its own, to pick that up, to say, Maria Zine, I was there for you when you needed me, but now
good man.
Like the Safara song.
He's got his own problems.
But you guys
I have
are
my
carrying
own
it
problems.
so well, like it's not even happening.
Hey, we are trying.
We come here, you guys are hosting, and it looks beautiful, and you're like, Mara, they like, it's just so effortless. So I would really like to appreciate. So we are about to reach closing. As a couple, I'm going to ask you to take turns. So you ladies first, and you will do the closing. I want you guys to talk to young people. Guys, Mjolo haunisi. I want to say this. Mjolo haunisi, guys. Tshepi and Mduduzi here, they are just proof that Mjolo haunisi, guys. Take yourself serious. They will take you guys serious as Mduduzi and Tshepi take each other serious. I think that is very important, and we need to start being realistic. Don't expect a person to be your provider when you know what you can't even do zero for yourself. You know what I mean? Come with something. There's no table here. We're not talking tables. We did not talk about any table. What did Tshepi bring to the table? There was no table. You guys had to buy the table.
We bought a table.
So basically, stop making relationships about tables. It's not about tables. It's about
that is so
the
true,
both
actually.
of you, to be honest. So I'm going to ask them to tell you, there's no even chairs. There's couches here. You must understand, it comes at different levels. It's a different type of level to table, you know. So tell us about your relationship, It's not about tables.
It's really not, it was never about tables. Even when we started, it wasn't a, what do you bring to the table? Or what am I bringing to you? It was we want to be together and build something better and bigger than us. So that's what we did. And another important thing that we did is to speak to those I won't want to say idolize, but people we look up to relationship wise. So we sought help while we were dating to prepare for the tough times. Like even I guess the tough times we're in now, we sort of prepared for that in speaking to people who've been there and done that already. So it's very difficult. It's not perfect. Not every day is going to be roses and 10,000 candles. Every day does not look like that.
Wow.
It's some days that look like that, but not all days. And that doesn't mean it's not working. And also, like he said, don't lose yourself to the relationship. Make sure that you still take care of yourself, because a healthier you means a healthier relationship.
Wow. I'd like to clap on that, like literally. I think I appreciate, before you go, I think I appreciate the fact that you knew what you wanted. You didn't think of him as a nail provider. You did not think of it that way. You looked at someone you were ready to build with. And building means getting your hands dirty. Building is not glamorous. And you guys are looking this glamorous because you got your hands dirty to be this beautiful, And I think that's the most important thing. So guys, yekela namatafula. They're not relevant. Over to you, Mduduzi.
I think for now, I'd like to take this opportunity first to say thank you.
Oh, look at that.
Thank you.
I need tissues.
I mean, thank you. Like, no matter what happens to us, and God forbid nothing happens, I experience love. I know what love means. I have truly found what I've always yearned for in my life.
I'm literally developing a chicken skin here. Oh, guys, no.
I've never seen, besides Umkulam Nokokwam, this love on earth. And to have experienced it, no matter how long it lasts, it has been an honor for me. And I'm grateful. And I mean that with all my heart. To people, to young people, older people, mine is simple, and I want to end it light. Always buy her flowers. Always take her out for dates. And always be there just to listen to what she wants to speak to. Yeah, and always just listen to what they want to share, because I think for women, time matters more than anything. Especially if you found a woman that you love, time is everything. Sure. Just be there, sit down with me, have a conversation with me, no matter how unimportant or important you feel it is. Just be there. So I'm glad I had the opportunity and to continue to have the opportunity to be there and just sit and listen and to buy you flowers, to tell you you're beautiful every day, to tell you I love you every day, and to kiss you. That has been truly an honor for me.
Thank you.
And I pray to God that we continue.
Thank
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, no, guys, did you just steal a kiss? Oh, guys, that is the most beautiful. I think this is the most beautiful episode I've ever done, especially, celebrating love, celebrating the beauty of family, celebrating the beauty of appreciating one another. It has been an honor to walk this journey with you. I don't think the journey is going to end anytime soon, and God forbid it won't end. I promise you it's going to be one of the best journeys you guys have ever encountered, simply because it is a firm foundation. The foundation is so firm that, look, whatever that happens, I doubt in this lifetime there's a chance of a volcano erupting. So just take that, it's your relationship. It's going to be as steady as possible. I want to come back to you maybe 5-10 years down the line and say, hey, hey, please, can I please find you dating? Because I think that's very important, and Mjolo made your relationship survive. If anything, I think you discover new things about each other each and every time you do something new together. And I think appreciating one another and showing each other affection is the most beautiful thing, and is the most needed all-time fuel that you had to use on your vehicle, so that it doesn't stop. Keep on doing that. Keep on spicing things up in the bedroom. Keep on, those random kisses. Even if you are saying we're having it hard, we're raising this person, then you have to take care of. But you guys are struggling and it's not even that hard because you have each other. And that transitioning, as I believe that it's a further glue. It's probably not even a super glue, maybe a stronger glue than super glue, right? So all the best with your journey. You have great responsibilities ahead, and you have nations to teach about love. Mina, one day I want to attend a seminar that's hosted by you guys and it's
know.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't tell me you don't know. Mina ngiyantshela. Like honestly, it is how we are supposed to celebrate love. Look, we started from a young age, and because maybe Utepi was starting to have nyana, growing some wrinkles, Mduduzi did not lose love. Because there are those changes that we go through as human beings, and physical changes to begin with. But that shouldn't stop the love that you guys have for each other. All the best for your journey. And
Thank you.
today, I would like to say I appreciate the fact that I learned a lot about love, and I would still like to learn a lot from your love, because it is so beautiful, it is so adorable, and it is so irresistible. Your child must know what you guys have is extra special. I'm sure whenever he tells his mate it's cool, but
we try to document it. So
Exactly.
I write a lot on
exactly
Instagram,
like the 10,000 candles
Yes.
and
These 10,000 candles. Man.
So guys, thank you so much. It has been an honor. It has been amazing. I really appreciate you. I really wish you guys all the best on your journey of love.
Thank
you
and
so much.
if anything, thank you, and thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure you guys at home, you will now understand ukuthi, guys, yekelani ukuthwala amatafula from furniture shops and involve them in relationships. They are irrelevant. Start talking about uncomfortable conversations. Start telling your person about something that you know you don't love. Start being an honest person. Start being honest with yourself from the beginning, and you will realize that Mjolo is not that bad. Mjolo is beautiful, and if anything, we all deserve a token of Mjolo. All the best, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm literally out of words, and if anything, your love is beautiful.
Thank you so
Your
much.
love is beautiful.
Thank
All the best, and thank you so much for joining us today. It is the end of our show, and see you next time.